back again. Another live stream, and there's some very disturbing stuff going on right now that I want viewers to come in. I need to talk to someone about this. I need to know what's going on. If you guys, I need someone from Canada. I need someone from Canada to come in here so I can talk to them about what is going on here, because I cannot fathom that this alleged smoke is coming from Canada. Even based on what we have experienced here from smoke drifting, which only started happening in the past few years for some reason. Never really, I don't remember. Maybe I just wasn't aware of it when I was younger, but I do not remember this happening at all when I was in my youthful years. I do not recall any type of wildfires, burning, and sending smoke over to other countries and states that are 3, 4, 5 away, traveling. I don't recall it at all. There's something going on. You know what? Let me check something. Is this public? I don't know if I changed that. No, it is. It's public. There's just no one in here. Allegedly. See, there is someone in here. That's what I mean. Allegedly. I say allegedly, and YouTube's uh-oh. Give him a viewer. Give him one. I got a viewer and a thumbs up at the same time. How is that even possible? What is going on right now, man? I'm in Illinois. I'm in the Illinois. And all of a sudden, around 5 p.m. or so, where I am, I'm south of Chicago. I'm about an hour south of Chicago. Apparently, Chicago has been in a smog all day, which I'll get into in a moment, but I have not been in Chicago today, so I don't know if it's been that way all day or not. If someone's there, you can let me know. Where I am, about an hour south in Joliet, I've been in most of the day, and it was not what it is right now until about 5:15 p.m. 5 p.m. I had left for over an hour, got this delicious sour beer, experienced none of this. It was a little bit smoky, which is to be expected because that's what happens when there is smoke drift. It can get smoky or foggy in a sense, like just in the sky. Then all of a sudden, Nikki came and got me at about 5:15. We were heading back. We seen this just wall of gray, and that's odd. What's going on? We thought something was burning in the area where we are in Joliet. And as we get towards it is the most awful smell. One of the most putrid smells I've ever put into my body. It is not smoke from a fire. There is no way it is a wildfire smoke. It is not wood burning. It smells as if it is industrial plant burning many different chemicals and potential metals and such off into the air. And it is absolutely terrible. It is unfathomably terrible how it feels to breathe in. It's so bad we turned the air conditioning on in the car. That's how bad it was. Because we have an air purifier, so we turn the air purifier on up to full blast. We turn the air conditioner on and just cycled the air through the car so that we cleaned all that shit out. Instead of having the windows down, which we had down. Terrible. We thought it was just in that area. Well, as we're heading back to our house, we go through pockets of this. We go in and out of this smell, this fog. And as we get towards our house, it's clear. There's nothing. It's not even close. we're 5 minutes away and it's all clear. It's just normal clouds in the sky, sunny. I can see the sun. It's not red, it's not orange, it's not all these weird different shades that it allegedly is from the smoke. And we get here, it's fine. Doesn't smell, it's sunny. I'm gonna go outside in the sun gaze. Well, about 10 minutes later, Kai and Naya come in to tell us to close all the windows. They said it started smelling. Kai was they were with us. They smelled this, how it smelled. They said they seen it in the distance, and then they could start smelling it. So we've been inside this house now without AC, with all the windows closed, for over an hour, or probably over 2 hours at this point. And in this room I'm in, it's 90 degrees because we don't use air conditioning. And we really can't use it right now for specific reasons. Air quality of the basement. So we ain't going to use the air conditioning regardless here. And it's so bad that there's absolutely no way we are breathing this in. We looked on which I have an air sensor. It's apparently not connected. Otherwise, I would tell you exactly what it is where I am. I'll look at it in a moment. Maybe it did end up connecting. I think the battery died on it. I was recharging it. But I was looking at people's air sensors that they have online, and the air quality where we are is right in the cusp of where it is very bad. It does not really go past here, and it's 700, which is hazardous. Don't breathe it in. It is terrible, whatever it is. There's something in this air. It is bad. And this is coming from someone who is very keen on what they are smelling. Let me give you an example. Today, I went in the office I was working in, and no one could smell what I smelled. I walk in instantly, I smell garbage. Just filthy garbage. No one could smell it. I could smell it around the whole office. I go through the day, and I figure out it's like specific garbage can. When I was in front of it, I noticed it was this garbage can. I asked someone about it, and they moved it. I smelled it. It was that garbage. I have a very keen sense of smell, okay? That was my point. People cannot smell what I smell at the variety that I do, the vibration. This is bad. I don't know what's going on here in Illinois, but it's bad. Hours south of Chicago. From the map I was looking at, it does not go past that. What's everyone else's experiences? What's going on? Is anyone in here from Canada that can tell me what's going on? I can light a bunch of things for smoke. This ain't plants burning though. That's the problem. I actually smelled after a while. I was in this room, and I have an air purifier in here. The insanely terrible smell dissipated. Assumingly it's in this air purifier, and I could smell wood. I could smell the wood burning after that. It was a light scent behind all of it. There is something else going on. It's as if we're being fumigated. I mean, yesterday the mosquito sprayers, they go by. Everyone, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up in this chat. What's going on? The drink is extremely good. It's a sour beer made with blueberry, raspberry, and cherry. That's interesting. I realize cherry ends with airy as well, but it's not considered a berry. And it's soured, and they got a yeast from Leafman's brewery in Belgium, which the Belgium yeasts that they have in their breweries make the best sour beers. The sour beer is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. Very good. It's called Dream Patch by ohm something. It was the OMG line that they had. Ohm Gang. OMMEGANG. That's what it was. What up, Zeus? Yeah, no, New York is way worse than here. So that's the thing is, New York and everything more up north towards Canada, they were warned. I was watching news reports yesterday. All they talked about is everything more up north on the northern side that's more towards Canada. Never once mentioned Illinois, not Indiana. I did mention Wisconsin, but Wisconsin goes up there. And so I thought they did mention the Midwest a few times in these different reports, though. But these are official news broadcasts I was watching. I was curious what they were saying about this. They would mention the Midwest, but they would not specifically say Chicago at all. Not that it wasn't going to affect it or that it was going to affect it. I took it as, well, it must only be up there. I woke up today and I seen it was hazy in the sky. So I knew that there's something going on. All day, though, that what is going on now was not going on throughout the day here at all. The smell was not there at all. There's something different. We know smoke, man. We know what smoke is. We know what it is when plants are being burned. We burn plants all the time. It can be thick, it can be light, but it has a certain scent to it based on the plant. Chemicals, toxins, things that are adverse to the body's health, completely different effect. There's some type of metal and chemical toxins in the smoke. I don't know what it is. As far as I know, these Canadian fires, though, they're only burning their wildfires. So they're burning mostly forests and maybe some neighborhoods and houses in the path. Mostly wood. And any of those other materials is way heavier. Any chemicals or heavy metals or synthetic materials that are being burned, they're heavier, so they're not even going to get into the air as much and be able to float. It's very peculiar. That's why this is fumigation. Something going on. There's absolutely something going on. And everyone in probably Monday, Moon Day, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll probably all be back to doing just normal things and forget about this. I won't, but most people will. It's never happened to them. They're back to their normal life. How many people right now have a mindset of what happened during the coronavirus and the lockdowns? And I made videos about there was corona in the front of Whole Foods. Why the hell did they put corona in the front of Whole Foods after the coronavirus came about and it wasn't even summer yet? I remember these things. How many people around you don't remember any of this? Most people do not remember the things that they go through and they experience that is debilitating and cause them harm to their wellness and overall health. It's a slow stepping process down to death at that point. And as long as you're subservient and go back to whatever your life is, even if it takes a moon, 2 moons, 6 moons, a couple solar cycles, so they can do it all again, it's irrelevant as long as you keep going along with it and deteriorating your sense of experience. That's what it all comes down to. Yeah, but New York is way worse. Dude, Zeus, the whole world is ending. The world is ending. We ain't spinning no more, man. No more spinning. We ain't spinning on the globe no more. No more whirling around. We're gonna stop it, and we're gonna see what's happening, and we're gonna organize it and align it with what harmonizes with everyone. I don't have a cigar though, Devon. Devoni Lee. I don't have a cigar. I don't smoke cigars. I have some tobacco, but I don't have cigars themselves. I don't smoke tobacco much anymore though either. It's too heady. Too heady for me. I'm already heady enough, as you can tell. It's hilarious. You went on a 7-mile run. You had to grab a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Is that what you drink, or is that because that is what Zen drank? I'm curious, Lumano. Because people definitely drink that, and the people that drink that, they really drink that. But I'm curious if you were someone that was into that, or it's because Zen was drinking it very frequently, very very frequently. Sometimes water don't cut it. That's wild though. You go on a 7-mile run and you're like, I need a beer. I need a Pabst. I need a blue ribbon. I'm crossing the finish line. Give me it. You just put your hand out. You just put your hand out and you grab it. Someone hands it to you as you're crossing. It's as if you just won the race. Oh, there's definitely forest burns. That's a whole nother topic to get into, Lamano. That's what up, Lamont? Everyone, go party with Lamont in Miami. Which actually, don't go to Miami because Miami has an insane amount of technological surveillance, self-driving cars, self-driving police cars. That's actually where they deployed them first. Miami is one of the cities that they're testing all this stuff in. Miami, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, San Diego. There's a handful of them. Miami is one of the test bed for cryptocurrencies too. They're the first one to get their own coin, their own token, Miami token. Or I think they call it Miami coin, but it was a token. What up though, Lamont? I seen all those messages you sent me on Instagram. I need to go through them. I never go on Instagram unless I go on there to just give a heart to the posts I'm making on Sacred Forest Herbals. For everyone that doesn't know, me and Nikki have a wellness herbal company that we started, Sacred Forest Herbals. You can go check it out, sacredforestherbals.com. We have plenty of teas, different herbal remedies, foot soaks. If you're having a lotus birth, we got a lotus birth mix for your placenta to put on there to make sure it stays preserved and completes the ritual of the experience. She has a ton of things on there for pregnancy, pre and post. More to come. There's gonna be a blog soon. That's gonna get going soon. And Nikki's actually going to make videos as well. That goes along with all of it. Go check it out, sacredforestherbals.com. I just lost all the viewers by saying that. that was my sponsorship, which is from me, and people leave. People, come on. At least I'm giving a sponsor that's from me, and it's not from, I don't know, some sports betting or some type of earbuds or what else? Food. But I don't know what other sponsors. It's from me. It's from us. It's not something external, and it's something wholesome. It's something that we actually pride ourselves to put. That's not the right word. That we actually hold of value and abundance in our life, and we want to provide it to everyone. And that's just a start. I mean, what's on there? It's a very small start to everything that we have envisioned. But go check it out. sacredforest.herbals.com. I don't think I got anything on there to help with this shit though. I mean, this is just pure toxic. Craft beer was a big thing about 10 years, ago. About 10 years used to be so many local brews, but I guess it's not as trendy thing anymore because I can't see. I don't know where you are, Lumeno, but you have to go to big box alcohol stores, which makes no sense, right? Local breweries, you should be able to find them. There are actually a lot around where I am. I'm close to Chicago, so there's a lot in Chicago. There's a lot around Chicago, and many of them make some damn good beers or spirits. More of them make some absolutely garbage ones, but there's many that make very good ones that actually take pride in the craft and what they're creating, the ingredients, and how it's being brewed and everything. Depending on where you are, I can definitely see there not being many around because it's when it comes to a craft brewery or a microbrewer or someone who's looking to make something very specific, nutrient dense, holistic, and follow the ancient fermenting, that's the word I was looking for, fermenting practices, there's not a big market unless you're really in an area to where people get interested where things are different. When you're out in the country, I'm thinking most people are drinking, what is that, garage beer? I seen that on an advertisement recently. Garage beer. That's genius. Whoever thought to name the beer garage beer is a genius. It's the stupidest thing that you can name your beer, yet it makes so much sense. I would never drink it. Absolutely not. I wouldn't drink that. I wouldn't drink Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller. I wouldn't drink, not even the light, normal ones, High Life, any of these major beverage companies. They own so much of the market share. It's absolutely insane. Why did my video quality go down so much? My phone heating up? So it's, I would say that that's common depending on where you are. You ain't finding any good beers. But the beautiful thing about beer and spirits and doing it traditionally and more in the ancestral practices of fermentation, you can do it at your house. It's very simple. Simple process. It's when you try to get it to where it's a specific way all the time and stable, and you're able to keep it on the shelf for a year, 2 years. All of these factors, shipping, logistics, that creates the monstrosity that people have in their garage beer. It's not the same thing. And that's also why us as individuals, we need to strive towards getting back into rural environments, out of the cities. People need to empty out these skyrise towers. It's like ants. Just ants. Just pour out. Everyone run different ways. Everyone scatter. Just all different directions. And just go to a rural environment. Plant some seeds. Talk to your neighbors, whoever's around you, figure out what you're growing, what they're growing, how you guys can work together. What are they good at? What are you good at? Maybe technology, they can build a house, you guys can switch. Trade. Get out of the cities. You like light beer. I'm doing 100 miles challenge in 30 days. And today, that's awesome, Lumano. I'm not even close to that. I I wonder. I would be curious, like, if I just got up right now and seen what I could do with you, how well I could stick with you. I'd be curious about that, but I don't enjoy running, man. Running is terrible. It's not an enjoyable experience. I don't know how people just run. I can bike. Biking's enjoyable. I suppose because the pace and the scenery is different and it's less strenuous on your body, so you're able to enjoy the scenery more. Running is just it seems as if it's too much work, and I feel as if I'm just out here running instead of I feel I could be doing something else more productive, and something more productive I feel I could be doing is just sitting and allowing my body to dissipate into the earth and sun gazing and grounding. I've never been a fan of running though, but 100 miles in 30 days, that's at least 3 miles a day. That's that's good. The sun completes a cycle every day. You can do the same in whatever fashion you choose. The sun has no questions that it's going to complete that cycle. And it knows exactly the rotation it's going at and the angle that it's falling to or rising to so that it can be on course for the next day as well. I probably would keep up. I probably would. Especially if I was next to someone that was doing it, I'm sure I would just it would be a mental thing that would then take shape in my body. I'm sure I would keep up. Mm, I took my children on a pretty long bike ride yesterday. I was on a scooter. I I was actually going past all of them. I used to ride scooters all over the place. I used to ride scooters when I actually used to live in Miami, which I think Lamont knows that. We talked before. And this was during my junior high, middle school. Depends where you are. Junior high doesn't exist. I rode a scooter everywhere. There was no bike for me. I was a scooter. I was so fast on a scooter. So yesterday I was riding a scooter with all my children. I don't have a rideable bike at the moment, and they were all on their bikes, and I was flying past them. 'Cause I have long legs too, which I use to my advantage. I'm fast. Is what I'm saying. I'm fast. I I enjoy short bursts of running. It's the uh, long distance running that I'm. It doesn't make sense to me why someone would want to do it. For me, I can see why someone would want to do it. I completely see it. But from my standpoint, I don't see why someone would want to do it because I feel I could be doing something that's more powerful, whether having to do with that specifically, say sprints, in some way, shape, or form, or something else in that moment. But running, absolutely, for people, it can bring out clarity. You think during that, you're moving. Depending on how your body is, it's going to start pushing things around in a certain way. Absolutely. I am very lanky and long. I would always, when I was younger, I was, I played basketball constantly. And people would be very surprised at my veracity at defending players that were 5 times my size and being able to push them off their spot and get up and block them and then rebound. Everyone would call me, everyone would say I'm a monkey. And it would be people that have no connotation to anyone else saying it. They would say I'm as if I'm a monkey because I would go over people's backs to get the ball. I was ruthless. I still am. I didn't get my legs back under me, but I still am ruthless on the basketball court. I'm maybe 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'10 and a half. My wingspan is slightly longer than that, getting closer to 6 foot, 5'11" or so. But when it comes to activity, I'm right up there, especially when it comes to basketball. I was the most endurance player on the court all the time. And not because I was looking to be, it just was the role I played for whatever reason. I'm not even sure, honestly, because right now I couldn't even do it. Right now I would have to get myself conditioned a bit, get my legs back into a certain shape so that I can do what I used to do. But I'm pretty sure I could keep up with the Lumeno. Back to the smoke. Who is anyone in here that is around where the smoke is? Is the smoke around anyone? But you're way down. Are you still in Arkansas, or did you go somewhere else for your training? Because as far as I know, it ain't going anywhere past Illinois southwise, and then it was going off out to the west. Now, something else weird I noticed, when it came where we are, it didn't come from the west. It didn't come from the north. It came from the east, which is this way. It came from the east. It came straight from the east. A basically wall of smog, the smell of burning industrial material or chemicals just came this way, and it still smells. If I open the door right now, it smells. It's terrible. So I don't know how it came from Canada at that point. How is it coming from the east when where I am is almost straight south of where these fires mostly are burning? And also, there ain't no one to the west of me, unless you go northwest, that is encountering this. It makes no sense. None of this makes sense. We are the most populated, two of the most populated communities right now, New York and Chicago, and everything in between, New Jersey, Indianapolis, everything, Philadelphia, it's all being fumigated. What's going on? How does everyone actually feel physically right now? Is there any effects mentally you're feeling? Maybe is something off today for you? Because to me, there's something wrong. There's something going on here. Oh, you're in North Carolina. That's where Nikki's brother was. That's where he went. I'm pretty sure he was in North Carolina, which I would assume that it's probably the same place. Oh, you're about to finish it? What branch are you going into? Are you going to? Do you have to? I have no idea. I don't know how that works. I know he was he was in the National Guard. I think he still is technically. They messed with him big time, or them, all of them. They messed with all of them big time. There was mold in the cab. Tell me if you've experienced this. There was mold in the cabin they were staying in, and they just left it. They didn't care. He was sick from the mold, coughing, wheezing, complete health issues, and he still had to go through the basic training through all of this. All of them did. And it to me seemed as if this was just a part of the training, like as if they put the mold in there to inoculate them to a certain state of physical body so they could stream these ideas straight into their mind and program them. Have you experienced that at all? Have there been any physical manipulations around you to change your environment so that you latch onto their mind control practices? Oh, New Jersey is bad. How does it smell? That's my main thing. How does it smell? Because the smell here is way worse than what it would be for just a wildfire burning. It's heavy metals, chemicals. It feels terrible when you breathe it in. I breathed it in once. I stopped breathing. I'd rather pass out from not breathing than breathe this in. It's to the point to where it is. It's bad. And it didn't start until 5:15 or so Central, which would have been 6:15 Eastern. How is the smell, though? Is it a smell of smoke, of forest fire, of a wood burning, plants burning, or is it a intense industrial smell, which I am in an industrial environment? Me and Nikki actually thought there was something burning around us because of how it looked. Initially, we thought that there was maybe a building of some sort burning in the area we're in, but as we kept moving, we kept going through these pockets of this intense fog or smog that smelled terrible, and it smelled the same each time. But then we get out of it, and then there'd be another one. Then we got to our house, it was clear. And all of a sudden it came from the east. I do not want to open the door right now because it's probably going to smell. Me looking outside, it smells. The sun, too. The sun is all of a sudden is orange, it's red, it's different colors because of the smoke. That it's not just faded into the sky, it's actually an orange color. It's making it orange. I'd have to look more into that. I guess if the smoke was blue, I could see that because of the color contrast or complement. But ocularly, how would that happen? How would we see an orange sun if it was just white smoke from a forest? The fire burns right, but the smoke doesn't. It's very weird. It made more sense when they were trying to say that it was in the United States, and that's when this was happening. Now they're saying it's coming down, not across, down from the Candida, which people who've been on my channel for a while, you're gonna know what I'm talking about here. Candida. Canada is on the north side of the United States. Us. Candida is on top of us. What is the biggest epidemic in society right now? Yeast or Candida coming down on you, taking over your body, taking over your environment. The beady eyes that have no life in them because they're just looking to replicate everything else around them. Just blame Canada. Blame Candida. Just blame it. It did it. U.S. Army, okay. Oh, that's... As long as you ain't got to go over anywhere, Lumano, beautiful. You got to go over anywhere, I would not trust what the fuck is going on. Or has there been any type of VR technology or AR technology that you've messed with, especially with being in the airborne battalion? Is there any type of mixed reality that you're experiencing, where you're going through training with that, or maybe more advanced, where it's showing you very specific things on the headset of this is what is happening. Maybe you could see a specific area that you're not around. Have you got to interact with any of that stuff? Drones? It's See, from how he described it, I felt as if the mold was a feature. It, it was there on purpose. But that's good that you experienced zero of that. That's good. Because they even complained about it and they didn't do anything. So it seemed to be a part of the experience, which I can see that based on militant mind control and everything that's entailed in that, which you are well aware of as you partake in the experience. You are an asset, though. You are definitely an asset, Lumeno. And anyone that's in some type of official position of a government agency, it's an asset for all of us at some point. Because there's going to be a point to where everyone needs to make a choice. There's absolutely going to be. There's going to be a point where everyone needs to make a choice, and the more assets we have that have went through some type of training experience on the governmental side, the better for all of us. Because the more knowledge we have, the more knowledge, the more we can do. Knowledge is light, the more we can shine. I am very, very close to Chicago Speedway, actually, because that's not even in Joliet. I guess technically it is, but it's barely in Joliet. They did have it. Yes, yes, it was dormant since then. I completely avoided that entire road that whole week. So I have no idea what happened. I used to actually go to those races when I was in, I guess I was out of high school at that point, but when I was in my partying phase, we'll say, I used to go to those races. I used to go there and tailgate. I never went into the damn place besides when I was working. I was doing work, and I've done work in the Chicago Speedway. I've worked with the Chicago PD doing stuff in there. I've been in their like mobile what are they called? Mobile whatever units they have, command towers. Been in there with all of that stuff with the Joliet police officers. That's why it's definitely in Joliet, because the Joliet police is who run that whole thing. I completely avoided it because of everything you just said. Went nowhere near it. I was surprised actually that nothing more happened with it being on the 4th of July and it being the first time since the coronavirus. I was almost expecting something to happen, and it didn't, which is good because I don't want it to happen by me. I'm I'm close, so I'm close to that, and I'm also close to a military base that's not far from that. They fly drones around here constantly. Drones, I don't know. They're always doing all kinds of shit. What are your thoughts on protein? Protein powder, whey vegan, none, all scam. I work out fastest every morning. Stop taking protein shakes like I used to. I like feeling like not having. Interesting. Before I answer that, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel not having the protein? Mentally, how do you feel? After you got over that first initial hurdle of, I need this, I need to have this for my muscles and to be strong, how do you feel overall? My ideas with protein. I think people need to learn what protein is. Protein is a substance that has already been informed. It's already taken shape. How can you use a house to build another house that is already a house? This, we'll look in the sense of eco bricks. That's what my children use. We don't got Legos. We got eco bricks. They're made out of wood. It's the same shape though. How can you take a structure of eco bricks and then build that same structure out of it using eco bricks? It doesn't work. You cannot make that same structure. You can use individual pieces to create that full structure, but you cannot create that full structure out of the full structure again, because it already exists. It already exists. It's already there. You have to break it apart so you can then put it back together as it is. This is the same idea with protein. Protein is already formed. Protein is amino acids that have been formed, informed, and assimilated into something that's useful. It's already being used. That's what a protein is. It's something that's in use. It's been informed. It knows what it is doing. That's not what we need. We don't need protein. Amino acids, if you want to look at it in that sense. We want the base material. If we're going to create something, we don't want the created structure. We want what is going to create that structure, which it would be the amino acids that make up the proteins because of the cellular structure that they end up creating and formulating throughout your physical body. So when it comes to proteins specifically, I think this word gets misused quite a bit in just health in general, not even with us, but just in the health industry. I think things are called proteins more than they actually are just base nutrient building blocks. So, say an egg for an example. An egg is something that grows life. Many animals in nature go and seek out eggs because of what it is. It's what is going to create a new life. So there must be an insane amount of nutrient value there, because in essence, it's the sun at that point. But we're told it's packed full of proteins when really it's packed full of stem cells, which are empty cellular structures that can be programmed to do anything. And when we get the amino acids, as they're called, we can build these together to create the protein structures we want to build what we're looking to build. I would say what most people don't focus on is, one, that they don't need all this shit, or not even just let go. Don't focus on that. Just let it go. Focus on hydration, density, and how you actually feel. The results. That's how I feel. I feel lively not having all that protein in me. I used to do the same thing. I used to work out every single day. I used to take, let me go back farther. There was a point where I was eating an insane amount of meat in a daily basis. I would have steak, I would have chicken, and then I would have a protein shake that was for weight gain. So it was high in calorie, and I would drink it with full milk. I was having probably 7,000, 8,000 calories a day without even trying. I never calculated it at that point. I was trying to gain weight. I didn't gain a fucking pound. I gained muscle. I didn't gain a pound. In the sense of overall weight, I gained muscle weight. And that eventually transitioned to me. I was still taking protein powder, but I changed up to taking cleaner ones. So it didn't have all the additives, straight protein ingredients. And I had a pre-workout I would take that was also just straight caffeine and whatever else nutrients they put in there. I used to work out every day, super strong at that point, and I still am. I cannot say that I was any stronger then than I am now, and I don't work out on a daily basis now. I would say the main difference is how I looked. Right now, you can look at me and say that you need to you need to eat more or something. That's not even what it comes down to. It comes down to my physical activity. Because physical activity is truly what determines your strength. I would say what strength. Oh, what's the word? How low your strength will go. The low bar of it is really your physical activity. How high you could raise it is based on your spirit and your mentality. Completely different. But based on what you're doing in your life daily, actively, is going to change what your predetermined base strength level is, because this is the things that you're doing daily. If you're lifting bales of hay daily, your body's going to acclimate to that and be able to do that as if it's just a daily routine. It's nothing. It's just as you walking. So protein itself, it gets insanely sensationalized in the Western civilization, specifically the United States of America, and it is a mind control mechanism to get you to hook on to the wellness system, which is the biggest controlled industrial system that exists right now, because it is the one that has the most growth potential. You got to look at this from an economic standpoint, all of it. If you're not looking at things from an economic, monetary standpoint, you're missing how everything is being looked at from the other side. You're a commodity. You're an asset to them. You're not a living being. You are not someone who's out here having experience. You are nothing more than something a part of their experience to fulfill whatever it is. You're not even an individual. You're just a part of the group. Oh, you're in it. You know, I think I knew that. I used to be in Phoenix. Yeah. I was the crazy person riding around in Phoenix with my windows down in 120-degree weather. Everyone was looking at me as if there's something wrong with me. I never use air conditioning. Just, it's definitely different heat there, but it's hot. Definitely hot. Man, no, I was gonna get deployed to do humanitarian work in Venice. Ooh, after the quake, but they canceled that. That's when was the? Oh yeah, the quake. That was just recently. That's interesting because that quake happened after the president got pulled out. We'll say. Really, I'm surprised you haven't either, Lamano, with the VR, because Microsoft had a contract with them. I want to say that they canceled. It was either they canceled one of them and then they signed a new contract with another one of these technology companies. I don't remember who exactly the new contract was with. I want to say it was originally with Microsoft, and then maybe they moved to Meta potentially. But the DARPA is who creates all this technology that is being deployed for surveillance and mass manipulation. So it's just coming full circle, anyways. It what that makes me think of, which is the first video on my channel. If you go watch it, I talk about this from, it had been a decade ago. Uh, my thoughts, my opinion on the world. I talk about the movie The Fifth Wheel, which goes into 5 different scenarios that happen during a apocalyptic scenario. And one of the things that happens is the children get taken away and they get programmed with military, uh, with a militant mindset, and then they get given these VR headsets to where they're actually augmented reality headsets, mixed reality headsets, where they're seeing their friends, the other children, as enemies and aliens through them, and they have no idea because they're looking through the headsets. That's what I think about when I see the military using mixed reality, which is probably going a bit too far, but there's a reason they showed that in that movie. August, that's hilarious. He said that he started calling people Batman just going around in his everyday life. And it's changed him learning not to care. That's exactly what you have to do. Just do something that makes no sense to your mind and just do it and just keep moving. People are going to respond, they're going to react. Just internalize it and keep walking. You'll figure out how to respond eventually. The more, I'll say, goofy things that you do in your life that change your perception of how you think it is going will allow you to see things in ways that were never presented before. Because we are really here to experience. We're not here to be stuck in a dogma unless the experience we choose. We have the ability to change our perception at any point because we're truly the observers. The perception is the most powerful thing we have, which I was actually going to make a video on that soon here. Again, I got plenty of videos on it. Some of them might be hidden. Maybe some of them, definitely some of them are not. Some of my whiteboard ones are not, which are my better ones. There's definitely a need for people to hear and know about how powerful their perception is. Again, you they had a big storm on Saturday night. The majority of cars got stuck where? Did I miss it? Yeah, we're gonna do some. I missed. Oh, the speedway. There was a storm. That's interesting though, because it didn't really hit me, and I'm straight shot maybe 5 to 7 miles away from it. I'm not far at all. It is very close to me. That's why I did not go that way though, because I remember from when I used to go there for the tailgating, and we would leave at 1 or 2 a.m. We weren't going nowhere for an hour. It took us 2 hours to get about 15 minutes. It absolutely insane. Which is probably a good thing in retrospect, because whoever was behind the wheel, I'm sure should not have been behind the wheel. Was not me. But no, that's specifically why I avoided that whole entire area the whole entire time. I seen when they started setting it up, because they got it ready a bit, like a month or so before, and there's some other events that happened before it. No, went the complete opposite way to go anywhere I was going. There's no way I was going that way down. It's on 53. Route 53. There are definitely VR headsets that control drones, definitely. Let's see about protein. You feel great mentally. You feel like it's not needed. And I used to have the mindset of, oh my God, right after I work out, I used to have the same mindset, man. I I used to think that this was honestly one of the biggest hurdles for me to stop eating meat was that mindset. Until one day me and Nikki said, we're just gonna stop. This was enough. We're just gonna stop. We're gonna go forward. We're gonna figure it out. It makes no sense because it didn't make sense to us at that point. We just could not mentally wrap our mind around the protein because it's pushed so hard, more now than ever, but it's pushed so much in the civilization. And that was the final straw. That was the last thing that allowed us to free ourselves to experience life as we choose. I mean, it's if that's what someone wants to eat, meat, animals, stuff from an animal, that's fine. Bugs, whatever. Let's not look at it as if this is something of high reverence, of value for our wholeness and wellness and nutrient value in our light complex, because it's not. We are light beings. Light comes from what shines from what most of us see in the sky. It's the sun. What does the sun grow? It grows plants, vegetation, fruits. What are the animals eating? This vegetation, this fruits, everything from that, the seeds. And then you're eating the end product of that. You're just skipping to the end of the line. And this is the lie that you've been fed. This is the FED, the iris. They're watching you to make sure that you stay fed with all of this garbage that they gave to you, because messing up your digestive system is the number one thing that they can do to mess up your cognitive ability. There's a reason they call it your second mind or your second brain. It is actually the first thing that starts processing everything going on in your system. If your digestive system is not clear, clean, and correct, your mind is never going to be clean, clear, and correct. It operates both ways. You can go the other way too. It's just a reflection of the two. Your mind, your brain, all of this is a reflection of your whole entire digestive system. Look it up. They're very similar in how they operate in their extremities. Average 2 meals a day is good. That's actually, yeah, I guess that's about what I'm doing right now. Ideally I'm doing 1 meal, but that's because the only time I usually do more is if I'm doing something that's not as active. I'm sitting in office during the day or something, or I'm in an automobile going something. Sometimes I will, but if I'm active, I usually don't end up eating until late because I keep doing things. I think that's how most people would be if they didn't have such a congression towards eating and food and needing to have it, when water and hydration comes first. And then even before that comes our air quality, which where I am right now, it's hazardous. It's hazardous in Illinois. Let's see here. 11 a.m. Fruit, eggs, avocado, and dinner. Light fish, sushi, and some meat, chicken. Some just something small. 30. What am I? What age? What are we in? 19 past that. I have 37 solar cycles as well. 777. It's a lucky number. We hit the jackpot. I gotta think about it for a moment. Which, if you, that's the other thing, Zeus. It's depending on where you are, and the climate is going to change what you're consuming. Being in Arizona, especially depending on where you are in Arizona, it's very light and very hot, and there's not much density in the air because it's not humid at all. So your eating habits would follow that, and your environment, if you look around, it follows that as well. It's very nascent. There's not a lot there. It all works together in a cyclical fashion. Uh, oh, I got comments to catch up on. I'm not used to having this many comments. Hold on, everyone. I gotta take a piss. I gotta take a piss, and I have a beer here I'm gonna pour. I'll do that when I get back. But I'll be back in one moment. Should probably mute myself, otherwise you're gonna hear me. All right, I'm back. Let me pour this. This is a different one than what I had. I'm gonna get back to these chat comments, and I'll move on with my day. I just got word. This is what took me so long. I got word that it smells absolutely terrible outside, super smoggy, foggy, and it's 90 degrees in this room. So we need to figure out our airflow situation. That's basically what we're going to be doing. But as of right now, I'm going to finish going through this chat. Anyone that would enjoy donating to our endeavors, whatever that may be, whether right now or into the future with all of the immaculate plans that we have in the chamber, the best way to do that is to place an order with us on sacredforestherbals.com for whatever you find the most revering and sacred to you, whether that's a tea, whether that's a lip balm, whether that's a foot soak, or one of the two beautiful wall hangings that we have, eucalyptus on driftwood or the original sunburst, which I had one in here I showed you, but it's in the bathroom, the closest one. So what we got here, and anyone in here, if you haven't, give a like to the video, share it, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when I go live. Let's see, where were we? Let's see here. August, when you realize nobody, adults, have a clue. Yeah. What they're doing or talking about, life gets better. Everyone thinks they know what they're doing and nobody has a clue. Just over, yeah, you are, yes. Very true, August. Their program, oh, it's so good. Woo. It was really, really good. This is a different one. This is from one of my favorite breweries, actually. It's Off Color Brewing. And this is Blueberry Yuzu, which is a delicious sour beer. Oh, that's very good. So I was saying that, yeah, most people have no idea what they're doing. And when you realize that, it makes you know what you're doing that much better. Because you actually have a semblance of mind that I know what I'm doing. It may not be the right thing. Who the fuck knows? Who really knows if it's the right or wrong thing? It doesn't matter to us when we get to that point. It's that I know what I'm doing. This makes sense. I can see why I'm doing it. It's logical. It feels good, and I enjoy it. Most people out here is acting wild, absolutely wild. Lumeno, every food and beverage product tells you how many grams of protein is in it right on the front of the box. Yeah, isn't that freaking insane? You know something else I noticed? Everything is avocado oil. Do you know why? I know why. Do you know why everything is avocado oil? You go in the grocery store, at least the ones that I go to, and you just see these green labels all over all the bags that would use some type of oil to fry something, and it's avocado oil. Not organic. They still have additives, a lot of them, but they're using avocado oil. Why? Because they have an insane amount of avocado seeds since they started packaging avocado in factories and selling it in retail. What are they doing with the seeds? That's where the avocado oil comes from. Oil comes from seeds. Where are all these seeds going from the prepackaged avocado that's being shipped to the store? Those chip bags. And people are buying it up as if, oh, this is so healthy. Because, let's think, when I went to New Orleans, that had been about 5-6 solar cycles ago, and even before then, and up until now, avocado oil was a delicacy. It was something that was seen as a reverence, something that it wasn't common. If it was what was being used in your food, that's good, that's healthy. It's a really healthy oil for you to use. And all of a sudden, it's in everything. Absolutely everything all of a sudden. That's how they mess with your mind. Because most people ain't paying attention that much. I am, because one thing I noticed about avocado oil, even then, it was never organic. I always question why. Why is none of it organic? It's from California, though. They don't have organic. Let's see, where are we? Zeus. That's me literally every day. I drive with windows. Yep. Drives with windows down. He's always outside. He runs more in the summer. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Absolutely. Yesterday, I was sitting in a no, not sitting. I was doing a live stream in a park yesterday. The live stream I did yesterday, was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday, about how hot it was. I get back to the office. I was on that, and I said, "It's cold in here," because it was. I've been outside in the sun in 90+ degree weather, just walking around in the sun. It's cold to me. Everyone in the office all day is complaining about how hot it is inside. You people, man, come on. This is Nate. This is how things grow. You don't have anything if you don't have this humidity and heat. You have nothing. That's a funny way to think about it. They're locked, literally locked in their cars, blasting the AC. Their cars auto lock when they start going, and they got the AC running. They ain't going nowhere. And no one rescuing them. I remember MV. Oh wait, I know what that is. I remember that. That was a while ago, man. Yes, they did. Did they sell the Meta? I have no idea, actually. I do remember that company and that stock, though. Working harder and harder to not care about anything. When you take life as a joke, it's better. I I can agree to a point. It's not that it's a joke. It's just that what the hard perception is much softer than what we want to make it. I wouldn't say it's a joke. We can see it that way, absolutely. I just don't. I see the negativity that's used when people joke. So I don't usually use that word because people will use that as a scapegoat to get out of saying certain things or doing certain things. I was just joking, I was just messing around. I absolutely understand what you're saying though. It's when you can look around and see the simplicity and sobriety of life existing in nature, just the insects, the soil, the trees growing, it's none of this needs us at all. Yet we pretend as if we have this importance in this environment that we need to be here so that it can sustain itself, when we're just causing disruption in a lot of ways as a cultural civilization or system. It's which way right now is this current system actually empowering, imbuing life into nature and not pulling from it? There ain't many if there's any. There ain't many if there's any. Laugh a lot at people running the rat race, doing the same thing every day on schedule. It, yes, absolutely. It's, you have to laugh at it. That is the joke. Yes, that is definitely the joke. They just don't realize that the joke is on them. That is the joke. Absolutely. Went to the movies at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. 2 p.m. on Tuesday, and drank a smoothie for dinner. That's the energy you gotta have. It's so low. If you don't got contingencies, there's no reason for you to be making them obscurely. And when I say contingencies, if you ain't got children, there ain't nothing else that you should really be holding on to in that manner that is going to obscure what you're doing in your life to that degree that causes you distress. Just flow through it. Figure it out. You only got yourself at that point. It's much simpler to do it then. And I recommend doing it then and seeing things as August does. All is mind. Zeus knows. Zeus knows. It's all mind. And when you're not, yes, when you're not bloated, which so much of the population is bloated, they are unhealthy in ways that they cannot even calculate because they're so focused on things that are outside of themselves. They don't even realize they're bloated. And then when they look at me not being bloated, I have a health issue because of it. I look at them and say, you want to talk or you just want to spew out garbage? I'll talk to anyone, but if you're going to sit here and just try to tell me something, I'm going to go in the other way. I'm here to teach, and you're here to learn. I sure as hell ain't here to learn from someone who has a bloated body, which is a large percent of the population. They're retaining water. They don't drink enough water to hydrate themselves and circulate it properly to get out the water that's holding the indiscriminate materials out. But they also don't realize when their body is bloated and they can't move correctly. For someone who has been on all sides of the fence in ways that I did not want to experience. Oh, I burped in the middle of that. It made me sound as if I was choking up. I've been bloated in my leg in ways, blood clots, things that me ingesting things that I should not be eating with the amount of activity I have. Yet I know that this is from what I'm doing and I can physically see what it is causing so I can change it. But right now with this heat, with this sun, there's you don't have a choice. You either slim down get your blood thin and get viscous, get hydrated, or you're going to end up just sitting in an AC environment or dying. The body cannot handle this with the amount of stress that people put on it on a daily basis. There's no way. Which I would say that's why this is going on right now. Because most people, they ain't gonna make it through this. Let's come back in 1 to 2 moon cycles and see what type of illnesses we have going on at that point. Respiratory specifically. Let's see what type of respiratory issues we have going on in 1 and 2 moon cycles. Clip this. And I'm going to say we're going to have an uptick in issues that people have with breathing when it gets towards the end of the summer, when it's really going to get hot for whatever reason. Super El Nino's coming, mixed with a Sahara dust storm. And when it starts to cool down, they ain't going to be ready for that. Clip this, play it back to me, and we'll see. It's got to happen. Something's about to happen. And there's way more than what I just said to why I'm saying that. But what is going on right now just leads to the same path. We are in the end times. Many of us know. Many of us are educated in that on this channel. And all of these events unfolding right now are nothing more than that. What happened when Moses, was it 7 trials? Whatever it was. Pretty sure many of these things that we're going through had to do with what he went through. That's one thing I always use that, Lumano, is waste is waste. What are you doing? You're wasting yourself. It's one of the easiest things to cognitively link for people because it's right there. You got the waste and you got the fed. Those are 2 things that are very congruent to what they're experiencing and how you can explain to someone they are over consuming. Everyone in here, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Whoever's in here, so as I work through this chat, so I read every chat message until I get 20 people in here at once, all chatting at once. I'm gonna read every chat message. I'm gonna go through every one. I'm not even close to the end. Let me read through these so I can catch up. It's been a while since I had this much chatter on one of my live streams. I used to do live streams all the time. I'm sure some of you remember. Zeus, Lumano, August, were you there? Probably. Let's see, where were we? Let me go up. Let me go auction the cars and this. Right. Told you. It's all mental, it's all mine. Here we go. Funny, you said that I haven't eaten meat in the last 2 months. With being outside and the sun so much, if I could afford it, I would just eat a little sushi every night. Okay. Yeah. Whatever works for you, Zeus. Depending where you get your sushi from, though, that's not what I would eat. But sushi is definitely the best way to eat fish. There's absolutely no question regarding that. It's the freshness. That's all it comes down to. It's the freshness. Raw is always best because it's not changing anything. It's not adulterating anything. You're getting it in its natural form. Your body's much more it's assimilated to working with those molecules, as we call them. Once you start getting into cooking, burning things and whatnot, it changes it. So yeah, sushi's definitely the best way to go. It's just gotta be fresh. I I consider fish a meat though myself. I know it contextually isn't and physically isn't because of how it's formed. But it's basically the muscle of the fish underwater, which is in water, so the muscle is different. That's why I still consider it a meat. It's the meat of the fish. And being underwater gives it a different dexterity and hydration. Because what people have to realize, meats are most people are eating as meats are muscle. It's muscle meat, which is the most formed meat you can eat. You're getting nothing, zero from it. You're getting parasites from it. And most of what people's muscles are made, I wasn't planning on getting into this, but we will a bit. Most of what people's muscles and body girth is made out of is parasitic activity. It's being grown by them, whether it's shit or whether it's just them regrowing themselves. It's parasitic activity. And that is because muscle meat does not break down very well. It is the worst thing that you can break down. I don't care the form that you are eating it in. You want to eat organs if you're going to eat something: the egg, the eyes, the liver, the uh, gallbladder, the. Mm, I want to eat the intestines, the heart, the brain, things that don't have shit falling to it. That's what you would eat, because that's going to have the most aerated, uh, hydrated, structural dense nutrients for you to have. Which nutrients? The word newt has to do with lux, has to do with light. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for light energy. We're light beings operating on a grounded circuit. So everything we're looking for is light. And when we start consuming muscle meats, we're way far from where that light is coming from and getting imbued into. It's not doing much for you, and it's very, very, very hard to break down. So if you look into most cultures, they didn't eat muscle meats when they, if and when they ate meat. It was organs. Always organs. And you can use those organs as food signatures to fix your organs, and there's more you can go into there regarding it, but the muscles ain't it. I'm gonna clip that, and that's gonna be a short. I'm gonna do that. I I uncontextually just gave a synopsis on why you should eat organ meat and not muscle meat indiscriminately in the middle of this live stream regarding the terrible air quality outside and how it smells as if I'm in the middle of an industrial plant being burned down. I am in the middle of industrialization, but that ain't why it smells this way. Probably in the worst industrialized environment in the United States. Let's see. In the yeah, right, exactly. In the summer, it changes with the temperature. Absolutely. Your activity changes, your blood changes with your environment. It all works together, and is geometrical. Has to do with the polygons, the geometry of everything that's growing in our environment, what is going on currently, and us acclimating to it and allowing it into us. Mathematics, you can say, in a sense, but it's really more uh, superfluous than that. it's not so structured necessarily, but we can see it through these different forms of science, which mathematics is one of them. When you step out of life, you see everybody is a food addict. that is a that's a good quote, August. Yes. When you step out of life, you absolutely, or I'm gonna change it. When you step into life, you see everybody is a food addict. They've been fed a lie and they're eating it up with their taxation. They're taxed. They're over it. They have no cognitive ability. This is why AI is so detrimental right now. We haven't even talked about that at all, but this fits right into that because that fills the gap for everyone. Oh, I don't have to think. Me working with technology in a uh, corporate company business environment. It's the worst. It is absolutely the worst thing that could possibly happening right now because it is the industry that is not just spearheading it, but it's being taken over the most by it. And finding people with a cognitive mind, brain in any way, shape, or form, not how I am, just able to do what they need to do, that's working itself at this point. People are so accustomed to using artificial intelligence and asking it questions and being given answers on how to do things. I've realized that people coming in for interviews are only speaking the way they do because they were told to do that by AI. Because once they get in, they ain't the same. It's which that has always been the case. It's worse now, is my point. AI has ramped everything up in a discrepancy to where these people are over there doing that's actually Phoenix right there. That's a picture of Arizona. That's flat top. I think that's the Superstitious Mountains. If I'm correct. Not 100% sure. Could be wrong. I didn't print this. Or I didn't get this. Nikki did. Uh, People are way over there when it comes to using this technology. It's hard to find people in the middle that can utilize it for just what it is and sustain their own self-being without giving everything up to it. There's not many. And I would assume that's also how it is in the day-to-day life of most people, is most people are using AI, it seems, to come up with responses, how to do things, what to do, how do I respond? What do I say to this person? How do I go forward with this process? I don't know what to do. Help me, ChatGPT. Help me, Meta. I need you. It's Eagle Eye. Anyone hasn't seen that movie, go watch it. Or it has a Shia LaBeouf in it. And it was an older movie, actually from what, 2006 maybe? That seems right. It's around that time frame. Oh man, I'm way behind this chat. All right, let me just read these. If I can be anywhere, though, I'd be on the beach in Mexico or Turks. Interesting. Cackle, yeah. I agree. I don't know if I would go to those places, but I agree. Beach, you got two places to go: beach or forest. It depends on the type of being you are internally. Me, I think I'm gonna go to the forest and just get a nice river or lake through there, and I'm gonna do it that way. And then go to the beach sometimes. Some people might want to be at the beach all the time though. And I'm for that too. Absolutely. You get there's so much at the beach, yet there's not much growing. It's where everything's coming in. And it's such a calming, majestical environment to be in, especially when there's no one around you. It's just you and whoever you're with, just enjoying the waves and the sun and the sand. It has such a high reverence of energy. That is an excellent idea, Lumano. Get a truck, whatever it is. Make sure no payments. You can retrofit it, whatever you need. Get a cab on it. Just go cruising. Absolutely. If that's all you got is yourself, go do that. Oh, you redacted a message. Retract it. Where everything is plant protein or based because marketing. Yeah. I didn't even think about that plant protein. That's a whole nother market that exists. Because marketing has deemed that's what makes people feel better about their purchases. Any bullshit they can put, on the box for people. Exactly. It's marketing. It's exactly what it comes down to. Marketing is MK Ultra. It's the mark of the beast. It's mind control. Marketing is mind control. I have a video on this I just made public yesterday that's from a while ago regarding this. It directly has to do with this. It's MK Ultra. Marketing is MK Ultra. In effect. Ulta. Yeah, they'll put, especially here, they'll put anything on the box, on the labels, whatever. There's no rules here. The regulations are made to allow them to do whatever the hell they want. It's not the same in other countries. It's not even the same in Europe, which is who controls this United States of America. It's who allowed it to be created. It's not even the same over there. Yet here it's wild, the stuff that they're able to put into food and beverage and walk around as if it's all good for everyone. I mean, did anyone see the McDonald's CEO video that he did where he allegedly ate a piece of the frickin' burger? Exactly. That. Why is that happening, and why do people stand for that? And then Donald Trump, he looks as if he's about to fall over in every picture that he's in. What is up with his eyes? His eyes are almost about. If he gets any more health issues, his eyes are going to be shut, and he's not going to be able to see anything. His liver is torn based on his face reflexology. His liver and his colon is shot. People just listen to him though. It's insane. Avocado oil, a scam. Yeah, which I've never even seen any of that with the avocado oil about the PFAS and all of the different carcinogens and chemicals that are probably in it, which I'm sure are based on the byproducts they're using to get the oil out and whatnot. If it's organic, it shouldn't have any of that stuff, but who knows? USDA organic ain't nothing. That's why if you go to our website, sacredforestherbals.com, we're not certified organic, but everything we do is from the highest reverence of health and wellness that we can attain at the current standpoint of where we are. The goal is to grow it all ourselves, so we are going to. We do a lot of it already. but we are going to do all of it. And it's also all going to be indigenous plants that thrive in this environment, that bring natural species, insects into our land to flourish all of it. We got to get rid of these artificial uh, species that are not indigenous to this environment. It's one of the main things that are causing reverberating damage throughout the system is the plants being grown and the insects that go on them. So the plants allow the insects to actually sustain life. If we get rid of the plants that don't belong here, the insects will go away. The insects that should be here will come back, and everything will flourish. Which that reminds me, I am not at the end of the chat, not even close. I'm gonna say something though, in the middle here. It makes me think of the honeybees and how people talk about honeybees and them dying all the time. This is supposed to happen. The honeybees are supposed to dissipate in the United States of America, as it's so called, in this land, Turtle Island. The honeybees should not be here. They're not native, they're not indigenous, as I would call them, but the word that is commonly used is native. They are from Europe. There is no colonized bee that exists on this land in that facet. They're singletary, or they operate in small colonies. They're not in these large colonies that have these big hives of hundreds of bees. That's not how it works. There's a reason they're being killed off, and it's for nature, because the ones that are indigenous to this land live solitary, and there is way more that pollinates everything than just bees. That's ignorant to think that we need bees to pollinate stuff. We can pollinate it. We got wasps, we got flies of all different kinds. We have different bees, many different bees of all different kinds that don't produce much honey, because the purpose ain't for honey. It's for them to keep living their experience of whatever it is they're doing. They're not out here just working. They're out here experiencing, living a life. Birds, beetles, all kinds of things pollinate. Anything that touches the flower pollinates if it goes to another flower. Moths. We found a Luna moth recently. It was beautiful. It was about to move on. So we actually, somewhere in this house, we actually got to take it with and keep it, because it was about to move on. I put it on a stick and it stayed on that stick. That's the beauty of nature, when you are actually in tune with nature. And off of that beat, I couldn't tell you without putting some serious thought towards the amount of insects and other small critters I've gotten through this solar cycle, or seen, that have moved on or been in my presence than any other time. It has never happened more. And I'm very connected with nature. I always thought what I experienced was very surreal and unusual with nature, the type of connectivity and inner activity I have with it. This year surpassed all of my thoughts. Go watch the live stream I did when I was out at the park, with the thumbnail of me saying it was hot and 120 degrees. It wasn't that hot, but there was a point when I was walking and there was something in the bushes, and I go to look in it and the squirrel just runs across my foot. I've never had an animal run on my foot. To me, that's magical. Is that much closer getting it to actually being in my presence and me having a direct experience with whatever it is. Okay. Everyone in here, thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna go through the rest of the chat. You got anything to say, leave it down below. I'll get to it. I got 14% battery left, so I'm going to have to zoom through this. Where are we? In social media, the living lift to impress. Yeah, social media is a joke, man. It's wild. And it's wild because I got off of doing these for that time period when all this was happening, and seeing what has occurred is insane. What people are doing to get attention or just to follow trends. Wow. People paint the white coats. Got the white coats, you got the black coats, you got the scientists, you got the pastors. You got the sun worshippers, you got the moon worshippers. It's insane, yeah, that people put their trust, which I think about that quite often, August, is people putting their trust in a doctor for their own health of the body that they inhabit. I think about the same as a mechanic for your automobile. Putting that just innate trust in someone else blindly that you don't really have any intertwined relationship with to do something for you, it's fucking crazy. And especially when it has to do with your own ability to live, exist, and experience in the most primal sense. It is fucking crazy. That is drug addict material. But they also drive people into those circumstances because of profit. Energetic means. To me, it also, you said the hotter and sunnier it gets, the more you want to be outside. I absolutely agree. I also think it keeps getting hotter, and the sun is brighter, shining more. It's a laser, man. There's something going on. It is really going on. I know when I was in Phoenix, the monsoons, I'm going to put in quotes, were a fraction of what they had used to be before I moved there. And that was from someone who lived there for many, many years, had told me that for his whole life, actually. That the current ones, they weren't anything as what they used to be. But I will say, when I was leaving Arizona the last 3 months or so, maybe a bit more, it was all rain. It was all rain. And I never experienced that there. It was really weird. It was constantly raining. It wasn't even monsoon. It was just wet. Very odd. I'm not sure how it has been since then because I've completely disconnected from that environment. As in, I've looked back at Phoenix, it is completely controlled by autonomous robots and a bunch of surveillance. It is wild. I'm glad I got out of there. I left because it was too dry myself. Which there's monsoons going on in India right now. One of the people I work with is in India. She was telling me about him the one day. She couldn't, her internet wasn't even working because it was raining so much, and it had been raining for, I think, 3 suns at that point, 3 days, and everything was flooded. Running in that heat is what builds resistance and endurance. And when winter weather comes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It goes both ways too. because the cold weather, it's burning as well. Cold burns just as well as hot does. We get to focus in on left and right instead of this being a scale that loops back around. When you get so cold, it starts to burn. Just as when you get so hot, it starts to burn. That's why they call it freezer burn. And it has a very similar effect. When it gets to that burn, it's cleansing. It's just, they take two different paths to get to the same thing. Artifacts 1 official. Why am I drawing a blank on John? I feel, wait, John that I worked with? John who? I don't remember a John. I can't imagine that would be who, but maybe. John. It's gonna roll around in my mind until I figure that out. I'm glad that you are enjoying me posting again, though. I've been on here way longer than I expected to be. That's okay. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, people and their bowel movements. That's the first thing that everyone needs to look at. Just look at your bowel movement. How's it working? How you flowing? Because that's what health comes down to, is digestion. If you can't excrete what is in your body, you've lost all hope to be healthy. You're just gonna build it up at that point. Oh, I absolutely remember. I could never forget that thumbnail, Zeus. That Z stands with me. I remember that from then. I remember those comments as well on my original Rick Sports videos. They're still my best viewed videos. People they still do not think they're rigged. It is wild. More than ever they are with Vegas getting involved. Which I've thought about a few times, doing those type of heavy numerological gematria decodings, but man, I think about it and it's as if, how did I do that back then? I used to put so much energy into decoding things that had nothing to do with my life, other than me seeing what it meant in a contextual standpoint. And right now, with everything that's going on, it feels so heavy and impedient to other things that I could potentially be doing in this current environment. Things have changed so much since then. Yet, I still feel as if right now is a very close repetition to what I experienced back then when it comes to these celestial and geographical and more environmental, I guess, anomalies that people don't know about, that haven't been recorded. How things look in the sky, solar flares, earthquakes happening, the news, things getting crazy in the news. It's all familiar things happening right now that happened back then, but is the energy I feel it would take to actually decode what we were all doing, because it was a group of us then. I don't know if it's even possible now. it just seems so different than it was then. I mean, I was making my own blog. There was a gematria dictionary at a point that it's out there somewhere. Everyone, most of my viewers, they seem to stick around, which I love. I love that everyone keeps coming back. Which new viewers are great. Sustainable community is the most profound thing you can have. Shellfish is a scam. They made people believe lobsters, shrimp, oysters, etc. are fine food. You are correct. You are, yep. And they eat their shit, literally. Most people eating shrimp shit. April Fools. That's the whole point of it. They fooled you with when spring was. It's the joke's on them. It's when everything starts growing. Unripe bananas. Your perfectly good ripe bananas that have spots and yeah, like whole black marks on them. It's wild how people eat bananas because right, they're going visually, but if you like feel it and taste it, ugh, it ain't good. But some ripe bananas, they ain't good either because of how they're grown and shipped and everything. It's bananas is a hard market because they're so far from where they came from nature. They used to have big seeds in them, really big seeds, but they filled probably over 50% of the actual flesh that people are used to eating. So they genetically work those out of there by, I guess, natural selection. Same as watermelon, same as grapes. Yep, thinking that you need to eat 3 meals a day. The lucky number. Why 3? That was always my question to people. Why 3? Why is it 3? Which, truly, when you pay attention to your digestion, it's too much. 2 is good. 2 is good. If you're gonna do more than that, it's because maybe of what you're eating is easily digestible, fruits, very hydrating fruits, or is experience and because you want to. There's nothing wrong with that either necessarily, but at least know what you're doing. We can transmute anything for our benefit, but can't solely rely on certain thing to achieve our goals because we can't give ourselves away to things. We can only let the things add exactly. Yep. You can transmute anything. But what does that take to do? It's you can change any type of energetic form into a thing that you are able to work with. Is it worth it to you though? All right, I'm down to 7%. Billions and billions served daily. Think about boys being millions every day. People knowing it's not healthy. Yep. Yes, they do. They continue to eat it and they continue to go through the drive-through, which is insane to me because they gotta wait to get what they want. When they can just get off their ass, go inside, pick it up, and walk out. Especially right now with all this technology, You can call ahead. You can order on a freaking app ahead, and it'll just be ready for to pick up. But people at Starbucks are still going around the damn building. It's ridiculous. I used to go to Starbucks years ago. Many years ago. I would always go inside because I thought it was ridiculous that people were waiting in a line that they're going to be in for 30 plus minutes just to get a fucking drink. But I can walk inside, order, and get it within 3 minutes because no one's going in. How you can put something toxic in your body knowing it's toxic, damaging, continue to do it because you just don't care. Yeah. Yep. Just follow along. If everyone else is doing it, it's okay. Find enjoyment. Make sure that the experience is you're smiling through it and everything will be okay. Just smile. Don't let those thoughts that telling you that that's not what you should be doing take over. Just keep going. Everyone else is going. Just keep going. Just keep going with it. I don't have an age, Zeus. To me, it's I can de-age at any point. It's age is a non-discriminatory number that is linked onto in the society and the system to force us to end when our body autonomously heals itself. Why are we ending it? Maybe that's what we want to do. Maybe that's the path in this environment because maybe there's just an overt sense of the body is going to become inhabitable at a point. But overtly, me looking at it, I don't see any reason we have to age or our body does age other than us putting things on it to make it go into different ages, because an age is actually a time period. Most people would say old, which old means to be worn or to wear something or weathered to break it down. So when someone gets old, they are doing what their body is doing, which is falling apart. That number is fine to me. I mean, to me, you can add maybe 2 more digits in front of it, and it's still the same thing to me. I still feel as if I'm going to be here at 11:37 as I'm going to be at 37. I don't see any reason I wouldn't. Oh, John, I work with. All right. I didn't expect that. I was going to say, I don't remember ever seeing someone named John go through my live streams. Well, John, I would like to have you back. You were very good at what you did. I hope that what you are doing right now in IT and your work endeavors is fulfilling you. That's funny. Oh, you're very welcome, I guess, for doing this live. Absolutely. I'm almost caught up. When sports betting became mainstream a few years ago, it's gotten extreme. See, which one thing I want to say is I specifically read all of these chat messages because my lives are so small right now. One day that might not be the case, so get your chats in while you can. When sports betting, oh, I got 5% left. It's gotten extreme. Scripting games are being played. Control. Yeah, it's wild. It is wild since sports betting got legalized, and then you got the prediction markets that came out of nowhere that are decentralizing it. It's wild. Absolutely wild. there's a lot of places that talked about shutting down drive-throughs. I don't know how many. I think Canada did that actually. I don't know how many cities actually ended up doing that or municipalities, but they were talking about that for a bit because of the amount of gas that is wasted. But if you go to electric vehicles and you put charging stations in those uh, drive-throughs, you solve the problem. Now they can charge up their electric vehicle while they wait for the meal and go right back on the road with a fresh charge. There's solutions to everything. And a lot of the solutions have to do with taking multiple problems and making a solution out of them somehow. No, and think about going back in time and doing things differently. Yes, I absolutely do. Not in the sense of how most people do, though. I think of going back with the finite uh, logic that I have now of experience and existence. Not directly as most people think of, I wish I knew what I knew now and I could go back and take advantage of this information. It's more of an overt sense to me to where, which is what I operate with on a daily basis. How I see things, a blueprint of it. If I had that at certain points in my life, there's definitely different choices I would have made that would have created different opportunities to present themselves. Absolutely. But at the same time, I have a cognitive relationship with memories and the fact that I don't know if all memories that I have I actually experience, because memories can be supplanted into your mind, into your brain, which will then take shape in your mind as an experience. And yes, money is energy. It's all it is. And I caught out. And that's all liquid is too. It's energy. This is energy. Energy. This is energy. Who people like to demonize alcohol, like maybe wine, beer of a good vibration, and all it is a densation of the materials that are being used to create it. You're taking the knowledge of all of those different ingredients and imbuing them down into a liquid drink that you can put into your body and easily ingest, digest, assimilate all of the nutrients into your being as you see fit. Am I still fermenting food? Yes. Yes. Yes and no. Am I fermenting it openly on the counter? No. Mostly because of the environment we are in. I don't have faith in the environment that we are in having sustainable bacterium to ferment whatever it is I'm going to ferment. We use apple cider vinegar. So pickling, I guess you could say more so, but it's already a fermented material. So you're fermenting it using something that is already fermented. So is it fermenting? Yes, it's just a different form of it. It's not fermenting it upon itself, I guess I would say. But yes, absolutely. I still have fermented foods. We still do it ourselves. Uh, not as wild as I would do if I was in an environment that I found suitable for whatever is in the air to end up in my fermentation. So that's what ends up happening. True fermentation is just let it outside and see what it does. Maybe stir it a bit. We didn't discover wine by grinding wine grapes and stepping on them and somehow coming up mentally that this is going to make a liquid. We found it. We found it in nature. And then we discovered that this is from grapes and other fruits, and we can create this by allowing it to sit in the sun and ferment and grow is what it's doing. It's culturing. So it's really dependent on the environment for fermentation. And I highly recommend people to look into the fermented foods they're eating, if they are eating some, and where they're coming from, and the type of things they're using to ferment them. There's a lot of fermented foods, they're using straight bacterium or yeast from labs that have been extracted and put into tubes or whatever structure, stored so they can be used in other products. They've been made into a product themselves, essentially, instead of being out in nature where it's natural, coming out of the ground, getting in the air, getting into everything that you're doing, and it's just part of the environment, which is why it is so important to be in an environment that is clean, which that goes for all of our health. Holistically, it's important for us to be in an environment that is clean. All right, I'm down to 4%. I'm gonna end this here after I get through the rest of these chats. See, August, I got a video on that. I'm pretty sure it's up on my channel about birthdays and the power that you actually have during that day. It's your solar return. That point, you only experience once a solar cycle. And at that point, you are getting imbued with more energetic force than you are through the rest of the solar cycle, because that is when you, as your consciousness, came into that body that you're inhabiting and formed into what you are right now. And when you can utilize that in that sense, you can make that singular sun, that one day, that much more powerful by doing that. You are being imbued with extra potential that day. It's if you want to use it or not. It's definitely there. That's why you get gifts. That's the whole idea of these gifts, is to create this event so that you don't go and create whatever the hell it is that you want to create unupholstered to everything else going on around you and your family and whatever else normally do. You take that day to do whatever it is you want to do. It has nothing to do with a number, though. It is just that cycle. That's all it is. It's a cycle. There's many cycles throughout the year of profound energetic moments that you can take advantage of. And that one is for you particularly. No one else. These say I'm old. These young guys in the army say I'm old, but in my mind, I'm only 33. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. And you feel like you still do what you're doing when you're 20. One of the rapper I don't listen to anymore, but definitely has some good music out there. Kara's one. That's one of his most famous sayings. That's one of the things he says the most, is he gets better with age. He's in his 60s now, still rapping. Which there's no reason anyone shouldn't be doing whatever they love to do. until they decide to lie down. That makes no sense otherwise. See, that's August. That you're saying about getting phone calls from family members and wishing you a happy birthday. That is your frame of mind accepting that for what it is instead of you showing everyone that I'm going to do something different. The best way, which this might be something difficult for some people, the best way to show people that that is not what this day is for is to do it whenever their solar return is and to not say anything. No one expects me to tell them any type of congratulatory wish on their so-called birthday. If they do, they ain't getting it because people will remind me, oh, it's this family member's birthday today. Oh, okay. I say nothing. That's not in my genetic makeup to put any energy towards that. Nope. Nope. If you want to talk about what your solar return is and the energy that it has and power imbues upon you, I'm here for it. But I ain't gonna tell you happy birthday just so you can feel good about some fanciful gifts you're getting, a new T-shirt or something, polo, new golf clubs, whatever people get on their birthdays, video games. The brain, you're correct. The brain cannot differentiate, and the body can't either, in a sense. That's why it will quickly go into different modes depending on what you're experiencing and what your mental shape is. Because really, it's your subconscious that controls all of it. Your subconscious and what has been programmed into it is what feeds your conscious, is what gives everything else out. Damn, I'm down to 2% now. I read it's only your real birthday one is on an actual date you were born. If you were born on Tuesday, the only time to celebrate your birthday is when it's on a. Interesting. Never read that or heard that. Hmm. Oh, definitely August. Check that out. I'll make sure after this video too that it's live. I'm pretty sure because I made all of my videos private at a point. I'm pretty sure I made that one public again, but I'll make sure it is. Because I made them all private because a lot of them have my children in it. I don't want them in any of my stuff. So I've been methodically going through every once in a while and making stuff public. And I think that's one of them. Never heard that though about having to be on the same day. Here, oh, let me look at my computer. I still got a percent to work with here. I got time. And then we got Maz Lumano. Young people never realize their willpower because they haven't been in the body long enough to realize how far. Yeah. If Charlie wish didn't go back to knowledge we have. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Lumano. People, they want to go back because they don't realize what they're capable of at the moment. They think that they learned something and that they can take that back and facilitate something different in their life when it's really for them to take forward in their life. And there is no going back. No, it was private. Hold on. Let me check and make sure no one's in it. Nope, no one is. I'll make it public. Stop. YouTube's giving me this message. Okay, here we go. Save. Okay, it's public. Called Birthday Power Revealed, which I think I can get over and pop this into the live stream chat, potentially. And there it is. No, that's not it. That's my studio link. That's not gonna work for you. This one. How do I delete that? Remove. Remove. Okay, that one. That's the one you want. I'm down to 1%. All right, that was it. That's why we did this whole entire live stream, is so that August can go watch this video, which I would say is one of my top 15 videos. It's a very good video when I did it, with what I encompassed in it within that time frame regarding your solar cycle and birthday and the energy and everything. This is one of my more recent videos too. Excellent one to go check out. And with that, I'm gonna end it, because otherwise it's gonna end itself. I'm on 1%. Everyone, enjoy your evening. I'm going to go see if it still smells outside. From what I've been hearing from Nikki and the children, it does. So probably going to be sitting in 90 degrees in here for the foreseeable future. It is what it is. I would like some airflow, so I got a fan on me, but this is life. And we'll make it out the other side, no problem. It was warm, but we ain't boiling by any means. The link doesn't work? Oh, I'm gonna try it. Oh, let me try it on here. Oh, let me try it on here. Oh, it does. Wait. What's going on? Oh, what the hell? I won't. That's my bad. Oh, it does. Wait. What's going on? Oh, what the hell? I won't. That's wait. My bad. Oh, it does. Wait. What's going on? How am I talking to myself? What the hell? I won't. That's wait. Bad. How am I talking to myself? What the hell? I won't. That's wait. I am very confused. How am I talking to myself? What the hell? I am very confused. How am I talking to myself? Did that stop? That was weird. No. Did it stop? No, it's still going through itself. That was weird. No. Stop. Alright, I'm gonna make it public and post it. Alright, it's this one.